So I want to give you guys a little bit of an update. It's been about a month since I posted a video, besides the one that I did last night, because I had a whole bunch of stuff happen after filming. So January 14th, I went and saw my vascular surgeon and had a ultrasound done just for about every month I have an ultrasound done just to make sure things are staying open and nothing is clotting off or anything. The next day, Friday, January 15th, I went to dialysis. Everything seemed to go okay per usual, a few alarms, but nothing major. Then Saturday, my sister was over here. We were doing our filming and I didn't feel great that day. I had some pain in my arm, but that's nothing out of the ordinary. And she helped me do some cleaning. We did filming, and then she had went home, and I started to get a little bit more pain in my arm, and so I put my hand on my arm just to check my arm, and I didn't feel anything, which is scary. So I was like, oh, maybe. So I went downstairs, I asked my mom, she did it. She didn't feel anything either. So when my partner got home, she got her stethoscope and listened to it. And like I've said before, my graph goes from here all the way up into my jugular, in my neck. And she listened through here, and there was no blood flow. So I called the after hours assistance line for my vascular surgeon's office and told them that I was having no blood flow in my arm. Once again, my vascular surgeon happened to be kind of on a short vacation he was gonna be gone, I think, just over the weekend and not coming back to the office until Tuesday or Wednesday. And so I talked to the other vascular surgeon, which is the one I've spoke about before that isn't really too friendly with me, and she got back to me and said that because of that being the only access point I had to get dialysis, and I'm scheduled to have dialysis on Monday, and it being Saturday, that I needed to have things done because it's a dire need to have dialysis. You could end up getting pneumonia, fluid in your lungs, and a lot of other things can happen. So she scheduled me to have an emergency ultrasound done on Sunday, and then she called back and said, just cancel the emergency ultrasound. If you can't hear anything or feel anything in your arm, then we for sure know it's blocked. So to wrap this up, she scheduled me for surgery on a Sunday, which, unless it's an emergency, they don't do surgeries on Sundays. So I went to the hospital Sunday morning, checked in about 5:30 in the morning, and had a revision done in my shoulder. So that's where the blockage was. They did that. Monday, I ran dialysis while I was in the hospital. January 17th, I had the revision in my shoulder. I did dialysis January 18th. And That was on Monday. So Tuesday, my vascular surgeon returned back from his long weekend, and we decided that since I was already in the hospital and it had been almost exactly a month since my last revision on my arm, and in 4 weeks it had already caught it off totally, that since I was already in the hospital, he wanted me to stay and have the graft put back in my left leg, which the first graft that I had, like I said in the last video, had a huge infection. My first graft that was put in my leg came to the incision right above my knee, and he had to go in and cut it where it looped around above my knee, because like in my arm, this is what they call the arterial, this is the venous. The arterial is where they pull the blood from, it goes through the machine, cleans it, and the venous is where the blood is put back in your arm. So same with my leg. It's actually the opposite though. The arterial is on my inner thigh, the venous is on my outer thigh. He planned to put the graft back in my leg, which totally terrified me because of what happened to the first one, and it had never having dialysis through my leg. So we planned to have the surgery on the 25th to have it put in my leg. I did the 12 hours of no eating, no drinking. They woke me up early. I went down from my hospital room down to pre-op again and got set up for surgery. I was very nervous, didn't think about it, and I put a lifesaver in my mouth, not thinking that a lifesaver would do anything. And a nurse came in and said, "Oh, do you have something in your mouth?" I said, "Yeah, it's just a lifesaver." And she said, "Oh, well, I'm gonna have to tell the anesthesiologist and the doctor." And I said, "Oh, it's okay." I chewed it up and swallowed it. And when she came back, she was like, "Well, did you throw it away?" I said, "Oh no, I just chewed it up and swallowed it." And she looked at me like I had eaten a Subway foot long and said, "Oh, well, I have to let them know." So she went back out of the room, she called them and told them, and the anesthesiologist came in and told me, "Well, since you swallowed the lifesaver, we're gonna have to cancel the surgery."